Hey core reporters, welcome back to my channel. I can't even tell you how many times over the years I've heard of Real Housewives fans online calling out for Kimora Lee Simmons to be added to the franchise, specifically Beverly Hills. So Kimora, as you all know, was a former supermodel. She was married to Russell Simmons. She created Baby Fat. She had her own reality show, Life in the Fast Lane, and I think she had another show as well. And right now she's relaunched Baby Fat. She has a baby by Jaemin Hunsu, and then she also got married and had a baby by a scammer who's facing prison time as well. So I think that's perfect for Beverly Hills. So she actually finally just spoke out about it for the first time, I think on record, like very candidly. The Jasmine brand is my source for this story. I believe they are the ones who spoke with Kimora Lee, and Kimora actually said, and I quote, "Different producers call me all the time. People call me to be a part of their show all the time. I actually recently said that I would take a look at meeting with the producers." So it seems as though Kimora right now at this moment in her life is open to the possibility of doing the show. Listen, I think that if she does actually want to do the show, it's more so to help launch her daughter's modeling careers. I think that she is looking to do the show in Yolanda Hadid sort of fashion. Remember, Yolanda really catapulted the modeling careers of her two daughters, Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid. Lisa Rinna has tried to with her own two daughters, Amelia Gray and Delilah Bell. It's kind of flopping, but she's been trying to. So I think that this is something that Kimora might actually be looking at. And not to mention, she has revived Baby Fat. And so that is another possible angle for her to take with finally agreeing to do the show. One thing that's interesting to me about her quote is that she said different producers call her all the time and people want her to be part of their show. So to me, that shows that it's not just one show. That doesn't mean that she's looking at joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in particular. It could very well be the Real Housewives of New York. I think the new Real Housewives of New York needs a shake up more than any franchise right about now, except for OC, but I think they can just throw that one in the trash. I digress. That could be a potential for her. It could be pretty much anything because she does have homes around the world. And it could also potentially not even be a Real Housewives show. Maybe she's looking at developing something else with Bravo. Bravo has a whole bunch of new programming coming out, and they're always on the lookout for what's next and what's hot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Life in the Fast Lane on Bravo or was it on E? I'm inclined to believe it was on E, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bravo bought it at some point and did air it for a temporary amount of time. Continuing along about the possibility of doing the Real Housewives show, Kimora is quoted as saying, "I wouldn't mind doing it, but it would have to be under the right circumstances." I think that's fair enough. That's something that people usually say just before joining the show. So I am inclined to believe that maybe she did actually do one of those meetings. And right now she or the producers or whatever are testing the general audience reaction to the idea of Kimora actually joining. Mind you, outside of her powerful impact in the fashion and the modeling world, Kimora's also connected to a lot of very relevant, I'm gonna say A-list, but I know you guys are gonna drag me. Let's say a lot of very relevant and popular people. Remember, when Khloe Kardashian found out about Tristan Thompson putting the lips on Jordan, not Jordan Craig, is it Jordan Craig? Jordan, Kylie's former shadow. Kimora called her up and said, you need to put the fear of God into these women. Tell them, you know, you need to show them that they cannot mess with your man. Like, she's very close with the Kardashians and stuff like that. So that could be kind of interesting seeing that side of her life. For example, with Garcelle on the show, we get to see her talking to Will Smith's ex-wife. They brought her on as a friend of the show. I don't think Kris Jenner or Khloe or whoever would be a friend of the Housewives. But because they are close enough with Kimora that she would call them, you know, telling them to buck up and scare the girls, I do think it would be kind of likely that they would appear here and there potentially. This, however, is where Kimora kind of loses me in the interview. I feel as though she's pretending she doesn't understand the premise of Housewives, and I really don't like when people play dumb with me. She says, and I quote, "Here's what I just don't understand because I don't watch TV. Are they mean to each other? Are they rude to each other? Because the clips I've seen and the things I've heard, they're kind of fighty. I like these women, but are they gonna invite you to a dinner party and then edit it to look a certain way? Because honey, I'm not the one. I don't have the patience for that. First of all, Kimora, stop lying. Even if you don't watch TV, you're on social media, and housewife clips are always on and popping on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok. She's on all of these platforms, so she's seen these and she's seen the fights, and she's aware of the premise of the housewives, which is catty, rich, and fake rich women fighting all the time and just being really savage with each other. And not only that, but in the second half of the quote talking about, oh, are they going to invite you to a dinner party, then edit it to look a certain way. Kimora, sis, now girl, you've been doing reality television for years. You know how it works. You know what they need to do to get that audience, to get that view, to get that shot. You know that things are manipulated. You know that producers drive storylines. So let's not, okay? Anyway, let's just leave this off with the hope that Kimora actually will do the Real Housewives. My question to you at this point is, because it seems as though she's been approached by Beverly Hills and New York, I'm asking you, which franchise would you like to see Kimora Lee Simmons on? Is it Beverly Hills, or is it the Real Housewives of New York City? And why? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.